Hey, I'm here. It's Chat with Matt. Good morning. Hello. Well, it might not be morning where you are. It's morning here, though. And that's all that matters. It's all about me. How are you guys doing? Here we go. Chat with Matt. What is the date? It is the 22nd of May, 2019. I've lost count of the episodes. It's either 19. I think it's 19. It might be 20. Well, that'd be exciting, wouldn't it? Chat with Matt, episode 20. How the year is flying. So, hey, Sister Sylvie, how are you? I know you've got a question in here. I just got to get back to that page. Have some lemon juice. And the bells of, that's a good way to start. Take a couple of breaths. I was just thinking as I did that, you guys probably can't hear the fact that my computer's gonging at me, telling me it's time for my half an hour breathe and recenter moment, and you might be wondering why I'm just mad. It doesn't really matter why I'm mad. The fact is, I'm going to use it to my advantage. So here we are. It's Chat with Matt, half an hour to shoot the breeze about whatever you feel to talk about. I'm here in service as a channel, basically. This is not Matt's wisdom. This is basically me showing up with an intention to channel through from Mantara whatever information would best serve people and holding an energetic space, right? It's not just about the information. It's about the vibration. It's about the vibe of the thing, right? It's about the intention and the vibration that we hold as we do this, right? We're here to facilitate transformation, not just to tell you how it is, because that's naff, right? That's naff. I am still attempting to get back to the right page here. So I need to hit home and then I need to go here to the Mantara public page and scroll down here to where I can find, here, that's me live. I don't want to watch that. That's not pleasant. Awesome. Sister Sylvie wrote in, we just got the keys to our new house. Yay. Awesome. I am so happy. I want to dance around. Thank you so much, Matt, for the ongoing support in this manifestation process, be it during sessions or with gratitude practice in the support community. We met our new neighbours who seem great. I'm also relieved my health is improving and I sleep much better. Your sleep package is a gem. Rejoicing about the next session coming up. No questions popping up right now. Just wish to celebrate. You're the best. Thank you, Sylvie. It's always nice to receive some good news. We love good news. Equally happy to help people out of a hole, but also happy to help people celebrate. Okay, so there is a question that comes next. What would you advise to clear the new house? Running the clear, purify, uplift energy track in each room? Will it remove entities if there are some? And to protect the house in the future, can I install the intelligent energetic filter, whatever, I can't even remember the title of that. But anyway, the intelligent filter system for the whole house instead of around me using my intention. Well, you could set up an intelligent filter. That track isn't really designed to do that because that track works very much in cahoots with the higher self. And it's a bit much to ask your higher self to be monitoring. It wasn't really set up for that. It's a good question though. It's a good inspiration for me to develop a package that would be great for creating ongoing support for a house. I've just got to think about that. Got to feel into that. Whether there's enough quote unquote life force around a structure such as a house to sustain an energetic filter, right? Which does require an ongoing maintenance of energy that works great around people, right? Who have a higher self and a stream of divine energy flowing through us, soul energy, higher self energy, God force, whatever you want to call it. But would it work for a man-made structure such as a house? Interesting. It definitely could. I'm thinking out loud now, but it definitely could work for like crystals, to put a system of crystals in your house that kept it clean, right? A crystal grid in a house intentionally set up with that sort of filter intention, but I'm not sure whether just playing an MP3 can set up an energy grid that's sustained around a house. It could, if you're doing it a lot with your self, I wouldn't want to put myself in the position where I am supporting an energy field around a house. It's much better to just support the energy field around yourself, Sylvie, and then trust whenever you're in the house that you are cleansing the house as you walk through it, right? Because your energy field is you're radiating out your light. And as you move through any structure, whether it's the house you live in or the school that you work in, you are cleansing it, right? You're cleansing it just by the fact that you're bringing the light in. Hey, Sister Maria, how are you? But the first part of the question, when you move into a new house, yes, running Clear Purify and Uplift is a great idea to do throughout each room, right? Just putting it on an MP3 and leaving it there to wash away, not just entities, but just the vibration of the people who were once living there that they've left clinging to the walls, right? Because you don't really want to, step into their energetic field, even if they're really nice people. It doesn't matter. It's not you, right? Anything that's not you is not going to be comfortable over any length of time. Even if they're high vibrational people, it's best to clear that stuff out, trusting that, Clear, Purify and Uplift is not going to wash away a good vibration. It's just going to cleanse it of its identity, right? So the high vibration will stay, but the identity will be removed so that you can imprint your own identity in that space, in all of those spaces, so that the house better supports you. So yeah, awesome. Who's next? What else? I don't know if there's much else I need to say around that. Don't think there's much else I need to say around that. So if you're watching, please just feel free to write something in, ask a question. Because otherwise I'll have to talk about myself. And that's been pretty hard. That's what I'm trying to avoid. It's much easier for me to help others. Seriously, it's been a really, really, really tough week since I spoke to you guys, chat with Matt last week, this time. I have gone through the ringer, emotionally, mentally, and physically in many ways. I developed a rather interesting symptomology of a dry sort of cough that felt like I was constricted. And, basically I was constricted. But it was all energetic, right? I was very, very aware of how it came and went, depending on my mental mood and what emotions were arising. This cough was part of me trying to cleanse out, get rid of the density that was sitting basically in my chest over my heart. It's been tough to maintain a positive attitude towards that process, but that's exactly what I was, led to have to do. The only way to get through this is to stop resisting it and to allow, a relaxation into the idea that the symptomology, as uncomfortable it was, and the cough was probably the least uncomfortable of all of it, right, compared to what was going through my mind and the various emotions that were arising. That was, as you relax into the idea that it's all serving you, and there's a great deal of freedom on the other side of that, then you step through it, right? You step through it. And while it's not just generally a clean break, I've come out of this several times and then have felt it re-emerging and realized that I'm not done with it, and had another, another sojourn with, those densities, slowly but surely, breath by breath, we're all growing. Okay, Sister Meg, we could start tackling how I stop having that one shot of vodka at bedtime every night. Well, you choose, don't you, Sister Meg? You choose to stop having that one shot of vodka, and it is basically just a choice, right? It's a habit now, and while, it used to dull the pain because you had an injury and that helped you get to sleep, ultimately, alcohol at night doesn't induce the best sleep. I know it helps you get to sleep because it's numbing and it helps your mind calm down and it relieves various levels of pain. Ultimately, the way the vodka is processed in your body, it doesn't really allow good quality of sleep, especially over the longer term, right? After you sort of move past the first 4 hours or so, then the studies that have been done show that, alcohol consumption influences the second half of the night quite significantly with unease, right? With restlessness and not allowing yourself to go into the deeper states of sleep where real rest and digest or rest and regeneration can occur. So you just need to decide that you don't need a shot of vodka before you go to bed, and then you need to step courageously into choosing not to do it and trusting that there will be some kickback, right? There'll be aspects of you that want that shot of vodka. There's a physical habit there, and there's also a mental habit there, and there'll be some emotions that arise as you choose not to do what you have habitually done, right? So there's no easy way through it, really. It's just a matter of really choosing and then sticking to the choice. Being compassionate doesn't mean giving into the choice. Being compassionate with yourself as you move through that is not beating yourself up for the fact that it's hard. Being compassionate means being understanding and tolerant of the fact that it's going to be uncomfortable and that you're not stupid for having a hard time letting go of taking a shot of vodka before you go to bed. It's just your history that you need to step past, and it requires some dedication to yourself to stay on that path. Yeah, and you could replace it with something else like honey is a good thing to have before you go to bed, and many other things can help. Yes, thank you, Sylvie. Sylvie wrote in, well done for showing up for your practice anyway, whatever the condition. Yeah, and so part of, as I was, I guess I could explain a little bit more what stimulated a lot of this really heavy release that I've been through over this last week is my intention to show up in the Mantara Transformation Empowerment Support community, right, our subscription community. I've been showing up and doing a live video, just a 5-minute video every day, completely different to this, right? When I show up for a chat with Matt or my drops of light, which I also do inside the community, I'm showing up as a channel. I'm showing up in service. But when I've been showing up as myself, as Matt, right, to share myself transparently and vulnerably with what I'm going through, it's been a completely different story, right, as to how I feel when I'm in front of the camera. And so that's been really hard. I'm also, as I think I mentioned last chat with Matt, I'm working on a new course with a facilitator, which is one of the first times that I've worked in this way with a facilitator and showing up as the student has also triggered a lot of stuff inside of me. So, and this idea that I am taking my services to the next level, and all of the hopeless, useless, I can't do it, vibrations, I'm going to fail, I'm not going to succeed, I'm wasting my time, all of that BS has been running. So it's I've managed to create the perfect storm, and I'm journaling. I'm journaling every day as well for the month of May, and it's going to continue after May. So I've stepped up my own practices significantly this month, and particularly another step again this last week, and hence I've triggered myself into a massive release of dense energies, which is awesome, but has been really uncomfortable. So that's it. That's the process. I can laugh about it now. I wasn't laughing about it yesterday, and particularly the day before yesterday, where I ended up having to take myself out and walk on the beach for nearly 4 hours, just shifting energy, right? Doing some light language, having some tears, having all sorts of thoughts, but basically I just kept walking and just kept breathing and moved through a ton of stuff. Awesome. I'm glad you're telling us all, Sister Meg, that you're choosing to stop tonight. And the accountability is now there. So I'll ask you tomorrow how you went with getting to sleep without having had a shot of vodka first. You'll probably fall asleep and sleep like a baby. Right? That's the thing with habits. We build up a whole story and a whole history behind them that's based in the past. And so, I've always done that. And so the thinking is that if I stop doing it, something bad will happen. But the truth is, you don't know what will happen when you stop doing things that you've habitually been doing, because you don't have any history of stopping doing it, right? You know, before your accident, what have you, you probably got to sleep fine without a shot of vodka. So that's it. Just try. And with compassion, be willing to, dance with your mind and dance with your emotions and breathe deep when you feel shitty and breathe out and trust and relax into it and know that everything will flow. And so, of course, the other thing, part of it just popped into my mind, so I think I may as well just split it out. The other thing that obviously helped very much with the intensity of the perfect storm that I've been going through over the last week is we had a strong full moon our time Sunday morning, probably Saturday night, depending on where you are in the world. So, that's, where are we now? Wednesday morning. So, yeah, we've just sort of slipped through 72 hours. So we're just coming out of the window that new moons, full moons, and new moons, and all sort of events really influence us, particularly the moon, though. We sort of have this 3-day window before and after. So, yeah, happy to be on the other side of that, because it certainly intensified what I was going through, which, again, not wrong, but not comfortable. Anyway, who's next? What's next? Has anyone else written anything? That'll run out of things to say. I'm just chewing up the lemon seed. It's got to be good for you, right? Probably not. There's probably some science that says lemon seeds are really bad for you. But anyway, I like it. I like the bitter. I like bitter things. Anyway, my friends, who's next? What's next? What am I going to speak about for? I've still got 12 minutes of this. Don't just leave me hanging here. I have to try and find some inspiration now. I don't know what to share. I'm here to serve. As my yoga master always used to say, if there's no questions, there's no answers. I've shared my own journey. And I'm not particularly going to go too much into... Well, this is what I could do. I could talk about my new journaling practice, because I haven't done it in this group. I don't think I have, right, on this chat with Matt. I think I've shared it on Drops of Light. Maybe I've shared it in this. I can't remember what I do from time to time. But anyway, what I've been doing journaling is creating memories of the future. So basically, locking in my visions for the future as if they're memories from the past. It's a little mind hack that I heard about and have been employing for myself. It's obviously working gangbusters because I've been so uncomfortable with it all. So basically what I do is I write as if I'm looking back at the situation from a week in front of it, or 3 months or 6 months. So I was doing a lot of journaling as I went through this difficulty. I was journaling as if I was looking back on this from 3 months, in 3 months' time. So instead of it being the middle of May, it was the middle of June, July, August. So it's the middle of August, and I'm remembering how hard it was when I went through this, and then I keep journaling to say how I chose to get out of it, how I chose to relax through the process, how I chose to really ground into my practices, and then I go on to describe how good life is now, what I've managed to manifest, how I've managed to complete that course that I feel that I'm struggling with, how I've managed to up-level my skills or my facilitation, how I've managed to improve the consistency of my income and other things that are, triggering me at the moment. So there's 3 parts to it. 1 is accepting where you are. 2 is describing and making a real visual picture of where you are going as if it's already happened. And 3, perhaps the most important, is you just allow yourself to journal very naturally how you got there, right? Even though you haven't done it yet, you're choosing to describe the process that you go through that brings you to the place that you've described, right? The outcome that you are choosing to manifest as if it's already happened. So you're talking about how you managed to do it, right? And that gives you opportunity to access your subconscious mind and to bring out solutions to problems that you can't consciously conjure when you're putting the problem in front of you, right? Because the desperation level, when you feel that you have a mountain to climb, is much more present and oppressive for your creativity, for your intuition, than if you feel energetically that you've already achieved the outcome and now you're describing how you did it. So it's like, well, I've done it now. And then your mind goes, oh yes, how do we do it, right? How did we do it? It's much more exciting. Oh, we've done it now. There's no desperation. There's no problem. We've got the outcome. Now, how do we get here? Oh, that's right. We did this, we did this, we did this, right? And it just flows out of you much more naturally than if you're sitting there going, I've got this big fat problem. How am I going to solve it? Right, and then you have to write down how you're going to solve it. It's much easier to write down how you did solve it, even though you haven't done it yet. Right? It's just playing with the bias in our mind that when we create a stress of having to achieve something, we shut ourselves down, as opposed to expanding into the celebration of we did do it. Right, and now we can more easily describe how we did it, right? It's okay, Luna. I'm not holding you guys to account. I know there's only a few of you on the call, so I don't expect you to come out with everything. So Luna wrote in, don't know what to say right now. Sorry, been clearing. No, it is cleaning. I've been cleaning in the heat. See, I thought it was clearing in the heart. So there's Matt's dyslexia working well. Sorry, been cleaning in the heat today and feeling tired and bit crap. My partner's been really going through the mill since the full moon, and sometimes I just don't know how best to support him other than just leave him alone, which is challenging. Yeah, awesome. Right, so that's close to home, because I've been going through the mill and Marie has been wondering how best to support me, going through it. And, and if anyone had a good reason to be feeling a little bit out of sorts, it was Marie's 50th birthday yesterday. So a lot of people have breakdowns around that, but she was good as gold. She was on top of the moon. I was having the breakdown. Not that I was pretty good yesterday. It was the day before that I was really not so flash. But anyway, how best to support someone when they're going through it. And yes, sometimes leaving them alone on the external level can be beneficial, or at least not turning up with an intention that you need to fix them, right? So I'd like to rephrase, from my own opinion, of course, giving someone space is important. Leaving them alone when they're really going through the mill perhaps is not the best. But the point is to just remind them that you're there in support, right? To just remind them that you are witnessing their pain or discordance or suffering or whatever it might be, and you are offering your support. And that's it, right? And then, and of course, that can move on energetically. So it's not just physically, it's not just saying it, it's actually holding an energetic space of holding them in a compassionate space in your heart, right? The way I do it, I'm much better at supporting other people than supporting myself, that's the truth, is to visualize I'm actually bringing them into my heart, right? I visualize my heart's quite expansive. And then I visualize them basically bathing in my own heart, bathing in the love that's in my heart. Right, and I've got whole groups of people in there, right? My heart is infinite, so it's not a big deal, and it certainly doesn't take anything away from me. In fact, I feel that it supports me in doing that. It actually reminds me of how much love I have to give, and that feels great for me personally. A lot of people would go, oh my God, that's far too much to bring someone into my heart. I don't know if I could do that, but we'll just try it and see. For me, it's been a beautiful experience, and I've been doing it for many years now, working that way. So there are many ways to support someone when they're going through the mill, and reminding yourself that you don't need to quote unquote fix their problems is first and foremost, right? Because you can't fix their problems, because their problems is an external manifestation of their internal clearing. And you can't fix that for someone. All you can do is support them going through it. Even with the light language and all that I do, I can't fix things for people. I support them, I lubricate, I expand the field, I make it easier for them to go through it, but I don't do it for them, right? It's not our place to do that. It's not our place to do that. So that's it. You just hold space for them, and dialogue is important in doing that, right? Dialogue is important to do that. Yeah, setting intentions, exactly, Sylvie, and then letting them know that they are supported, that you recognize that they are having a hard time and you are holding support. And if they want anything, they know where to come to. Because a lot of what runs through our mind, many of us, when we're going through the mill, is this, alone thing, we can't cope and all of that. And then we tend to push people away as well at the same time. So interesting, we have this double-edged thing going on where we feel really alone and yet we want to be alone. We don't want to be around people and yet we feel abandoned. It's kind of crazy, but it's very, very common that we don't feel on a level. There's a whole heap. I'm not going to open that can of worms yet, but it's important to recognize that it is quite common. And many people will do this. They'll show up feeling abandoned and then they push everyone away from them. So we can just hold in space and allow that to run. And sometimes it's beneficial to point it out to them. You're complaining that you feel alone and abandoned, but you're pushing everyone away from you. Not to make them wrong, just to help them understand that this is deep stuff, that this is not the external world, abandoning them. This is their own internal abandonment being projected out, right? The feelings of abandonment are arising from within them, and then they're acting it out by pushing people away so that they can prove that they've been abandoned. Right? That's what we do. The external world is always following our internal energies. And if you think you need to fix the external world so that you can be happy, you're deluded, right? You don't need to fix your problems in the external world to be happy. You need to choose to be happy in order for your external problems to resolve. That's the point, right? Put the horse before the cart. Remember where it's at. And that's not to say that you shouldn't do anything in the external world to help yourself, whether it's a physical issue or a mental issue or an emotional issue. Definitely work in the external world, but remember that the bulk of it, the real driving force behind your issues is coming from within you, and it's about relaxing through the inner work of releasing this stuff from within. So Luna wrote in, yes, thank you. I don't want to fix him, but sometimes it's hard to find the line between being there and annoying him because he's been working around people all day. He does all of a sudden push me away. It's confusing sometimes. Yeah, it's very confusing because it's irrational. That's why it doesn't make sense. But it's the emotional discordance playing out, and it can hurt. Can hurt a lot when you care for someone and you're trying your best to help them, serve them, not necessarily to fix them, but just to be there for them, and they can't cope with it because you're defying his story quite potentially. He's got a story running that he's not good enough or nothing he does is ever received, and then when you show up and start receiving him, then you're basically disproving a story that is quite indoctrinated, and the ego hates that. The ego hates having the stories that it's using as a foundation, and quite a lot of us run in the foundation of, nobody loves me. So when you're running in the foundation of nobody loves me, and then someone comes in and keeps loving you despite yourself, you feel so ugly, it's really, no, he can't see this, Luna. Oh, potentially, but just trust. It's all fine. I don't think so. We'll see. No, this isn't in the private group, is it? But anyway, it's only going to serve him. We're not speaking ill, or in any sort of way. What's the word? We're not really breaking his confidence. I'm only conjecturing as to what's going on for him anyway. But the point is, and this is educational for everyone more than just potentially you and him. It's about me more than anything. This is what I do. So when we've got a story running inside of ourselves that we're not good enough or nobody loves us or something like that, and then someone comes in and defies that story, right? Then we tend to egoically want to stop that, right? So we push people away who are actually trying to support us if we've got a story running that we're never supported. And yet we're crying out, we want support, right? So we don't feel anyone supports us. We really want support, and then yet we sabotage anyone who tries to support us. It's very, very, very common, and it's not just about the support issue. It could be about anything, right? We do the same thing with money. I really, really want money, but there's part of me that doesn't feel worthy of having money. So every time money starts coming to me, I sabotage it. I push it away, right? It's so, so common, and yet it's so misunderstood. And we put so much effort into the wanting, and it doesn't work. Right, so the point is to relax into awareness that we have these programs running, and just to relax into allowing it to release, right? Because you don't need to try hard to let go of these issues. That's the biggest issue we have, most of us, is we try too hard to release it. I just heard my bells and it just reminded me that my half an hour is up. Anyway, my friends, so I'm going to leave it at that. I know it's kind of like there's no real clear conclusion to what I was talking about other than to relax into understanding that we are all very complicated beings. We all have a huge history of energy beneath our field, and when we're helping others go through their stuff, just as when we're recognizing that we're going through our own stuff, maintaining basically a compassionate, supportive, understanding tolerance that it is confusing, that it's not logical, and that it is highly charged, the emotions that are, being displayed, especially around this last full moon, just to breathe through it and to relax and to allow it all to unfold with timing, with grace, and with love. Okay, my friends, namaste. Much love to you all. Bye for now. Bye-bye. I always have trouble with the finish button. When am I going to let go of that belief? Here we go. I'll try again.